And this is a backyard paint job. Smartened up with a set of wheels. And we're still in the process of getting some engine bits together. But that's a pretty cool car now. It's a pretty tough looking unit once it's all polished up and stuff. And yeah, see, it can be done. Okay. That's what we're working on today. Yeah, originally he was going to get this engine out for me, and I was just going to do the whole deal, but he's running a little bit short of funds, and he's already got a whole heap of stuff, so he'd like me to put some stuff in it for him. This is what we got over here, so some of it. The heads are actually getting some paint on them, but it's pretty decent carby that he bought. The land manifold, Dynatech camshaft, solid lifters, some nice rocker covers, Gilmer drive kit for his water pump and alternator and so forth and so on. I'll get going, and hopefully in a day or so I'll have this thing ready for him to drive around and do some skids. We've got a few things off now. And I diagnosed this thing with a crook camshaft, so this is why the whole deal's going on, because I said the cam was crook. And I do believe the cam is. But the more I'm pulling apart, I'm having a look at more and more things. I know you guys can see that. Just see if I can zoom in. But that's not very attractive. So, on the long list of the shopping list, there's a pair of fuelies to come. We've got we're going to buy another rotor, obviously, with the HEI. These old Rams horns, they're coming off. Got some of these going in. And yeah, if I find anything else, I'll let you know. A couple more bits just turned up. We're going to put a fuel cell in the back of this one, so we've got an electric pump that's going to feed it up to the front, and a high volume mechanical pump. And so far that's the pile of stuff that's not going back on. And we're getting closer. I've just pulled down about an hour. I reckon I'll have them heads and everything off the front of it and all that rest of it. Start cleaning it up and probably put it back together tomorrow. That's the first head off. If you have a look at that cylinder there, you can see how much rust it's got about it. I think that cylinder head's got a crack in it. I'll show you why. Look how nice and shiny that one is compared to the others. That's all washed with water. The bore looks not bad. So, lucky we got those fuelies coming. I did say I thought it had a crook cam. I'm going to pull the lifter out in a minute, but if you can see the top of that, look how hammered that is. That's all the case hardening gone, usually from hammering away on the rocker there. So I'll get this head off it, and I'll pull a couple of lifters out. We'll have a look and see. Lucky for me, these came out really easy. Let's have a look at this one. So I'll get this still enough for you. Get a bit of reflection there. There we go. Look at that. It's an egg cup. They're all egg cups. That's probably the worst one though. Yeah. Anyway, we've got the new solids to go in there, so that's all good. Anyway, I'll have to go around home and pick up my balancer remover and come back, pull the cam out, give you a look at that when it's all done. And fuck him, I might just leave it like that. Nah. Okay, so there we go. It's all apart now. And clean up and reassembly. That's about as far as I can go with it today. That's probably about, I don't know, 3 hours to get us to that stage. That's not bad going. Stud kit. Yeah. Should be going on. There's our heads.
Put it up there somewhere, mate.
Nicely ported. Roll the rockers. Give it a look over this side. Oop. Did not do that. Juke the nana.
Go there?
I reckon it's a good spot.
It's a good spot, eh?
Yep.
You know.
We might just leave them to clean it up, and we'll get back to them, back to it when they've got it all sorted. And so there we go. You can kind of see where we're going with it. There's a little problem at the minute, and that's that the studs there are a little bit too long and hit on the bottom of the rocker, so just got to sort that out. But there we come along. More bits to come. Okay, so it's Saturday now. I'll put a few more bits on. Looks like we're going to have to go with the old ram's horns. That's not a big deal. He's painted them up. Bit of this stuff is trial fitting because we're doing a few different things, which you probably realise. Solved that problem with the long bolts. You can see that. Plenty of clearance there now. I just lopped the top off, as you can see from that one. There's heaps of stud there, so it's not a problem. Carburetor's on, manifold's on. All the rockers are on. I've just got to set the tappets now. We've still got to hook the fuel system up to it. Switches and plugs and hoses and all sorts of carry-on that goes with it. But yeah, we're pretty close to it, so I'm thinking, I don't know what you guys reckon, but I get this feeling that this thing's going to end up with a hole in the bonnet. Let's just get down in height and see where we go. How we go with this. There's the guard, so we can line that up. Well, there we go, look at that. Yeah. I personally wouldn't put a hole in the bonnet, I'd put a scoop on it. What do you guys reckon? I'll try and talk him into it. He was thinking about another bonnet, get another bonnet, chop a hole in it, but I reckon a nice scoop covering over the whole lot, but that should be pretty cool. And by the time he puts an air cleaner on that, that's going to be pretty tall. Okay, so it's Monday now. We've found the correct settings for the tappets, the rockers. So I'm going to do those now. I'll show you guys a couple of little hints if you're unaware of a couple of little tricks. I'll show you as I go here. But what I do is, before I rotate anything that I've rebuilt, before I rotate, I try and get the oil pressure up. It's easy with a Chevy because distributor sort of turns the oil pump, and without the distributor in there you can pour the oil in, and you can also prime the engine up. And what I've done is I've got an old oil pump drive from a big block Chev. I'll put a socket on the end of it, and all we need to do is just poke it down in the hole, and you can then turn this little this drive, and let's get that in, let's move it slightly. There. So I can turn that now. I can turn that around. I can fill the oil filter, all the oil galleries, etc, etc, etc. So when I start turning this thing around, it won't be dry, even though we put assembly lube and stuff on it. That was a week ago. So anyway, which way am I going to turn that? If you're not sure of which way the rotation is, I'll just show you something. Okay, so there's the original dizzy that came out of it, and if you're unsure on which way the rotation is going to be on the engine, just have a look at the vacuum advance, and as you can see, it will pull across this way, which means the rotation of the engine is going to be clockwise. So if I turn the pump clockwise, we'll prime the whole engine up. Now, setting the rockers up, there's the firing order. And if you're not sure about the firing order on your engine, and this will work for any engine, doesn't matter whether it's a Chevy, a Chrysler, a 4, 6, 8 cylinder, 12 cylinder, whatever, you can use this method. So there's the firing order. If I split that in half, so that the first half, and then I put those numbers one above the other like that. There's your 1843, 6572. So that means that for number 1 cylinder, if I want to adjust that at top dead centre, I will have the number 6 cylinder, or the rockers on number 6 cylinder, just on the rock. You know what I mean? That means that down on this side, which I know this is 2, 4, 6, 8, these two here, they will just be rocking like that. When they get to that bit, just like so, this will be on top dead centre, and you can check with your timer mark, which you can see that one is on top dead centre. But I'm not going to roll it around and show you all that sort of shit. But anyway, so that's what you'll do, and then you'll move on to the next cylinder, number 8, in which case you'll have to get number 5 cylinder rocking, which that's number 5, and then you will do that number 8, which is all the way over there. Yeah, I hope I didn't go through that too quickly, but it just might be a little hint. And that way, all you're doing is turning the camshaft 1 full rotation, which would mean the crank 2 full rotations, instead of just rotating it round and round and round and round for hours. Spent a bit more time on it today. Saturday, we've got the alternator all hooked up, belt's nice and tight. Moved the tranny cooler lines and the steer lines coming up through this side now. We've got our brand new HEI distributor in it with brand new leads there. Got to put the ends on the leads yet. That's not a big deal. We've got the throttle cable. It's nearly ready to have a turn. Okay, so you're probably having a look. I've got this mass of wires, but once he gets the collectors, the nice organisers, they'll go down along here, and I'll cut them off at the lengths that they need to be. So this is just so we can get the thing going. Some other temporary things with the wiring and so forth. So come on, bud, hit the key. Let's see what happens.
Ready?
Yeah. Nothing. Yeah, okay. To look into that. Give it another go, mate. I like a smoke show. Go on. Yeah. Hang on a sec. Turn it off. Okay, mate. Turn it off. Okay.
That's oil.
Might have got. Go for it. For 20 minutes. When I get it to idle, it'll sound really cool. Have a look when it comes up. Okay, so it's done its cam bedding. We found we've got a radiator with a leak, and I'm certain it's going to have a blockage in it somewhere. But this is how grumpy she sounds at idle. A little bit of petrol. Sounds pretty good.
Definitely sounds fat.
You give it a thumbs up, brother?
Absolutely.
Fuck yeah.
Fucking nice.
Hey people, another day. Another bit done on the Jag, hopefully. Got it running pretty sweet now. Here's a temperature fuel tank, just for the minute, just to make sure we got everything working alright. We've got a fuel cell. We've waited for some fittings and stuff for that, which we've got. Just got to make up some spacing blocks to put the fuel cell down there. Got the electric pump hooked up, all working good. The fuel cell, got the fittings for the fuel cell. Just need to make some blocks and stuff up for here, just to hold it up off the floor a bit when we put the bonnet on. I'm going to have a go at chopping a hole in it, but yeah, that's probably what you're going to see sticking out. Shotgun scoop. Hook the butterflies up so they work with the, as you can see, it's just got an ordinary air cleaner in there. Hook the butterflies up so they work with the throttle, make it look like it does something. And we're going to chop a hole in the bonnet probably tomorrow or the next day, I don't know. We'll have a go. Got a nibbler and stuff like that. Starts with the key. I can throttle it from here now. I've got the accelerator hooked up. Maybe I ran it out of petrol. I don't know. Maybe. Still should have enough in it. Anyway. What's going on there? Okay. Found out what was going on. Not the brightest of people, you know. But I was pushing on that pedal there. That won't work for the throttle. So anyway, look. Door's still hooked up at the back here. Yeah, radiator's in. Got a pair of thermal fans I fitted to the radiator. Got to wire them up yet. Pretty simple. Yeah, it's coming along. I'll do a bit more work to that bracket down there though. For some reason that keeps coming loose. I don't know what I can see. There's a bit of movement, a bit of flex in that there, so I'll have to bracket that back, I suppose. Hold it a little tight. And just another thing. Oil cooler's on. Yeah, it's coming along. Well, I'm down to play with the Jag again just for a moment. Cut a hole in the bonnet. Just trial fitted it. I don't think we did too badly. That was a good guess, Ziggy. That was a good guess. Had to trim it up a little bit here and there, but it's not over the top. Bonnet's just sitting on there loosely. And that looks pretty cool. Another Friday on the Jag. Still waiting on parts. Oh, man. Tell ya. Anyway, got it all wired up, got the fans wired up. Going through relays. Where was I from there? I still had to hook up a linkage for the. This is going to go and buy one actually from one of the joints. They make a kit for that. He's also going to not wait on eBay for his lead things. Just still got to make the little bracket from here. The bracket that comes from here goes down to the engine mount. Stop that from swaying about. I'll go and do that when I go home. Cells in. Pump's hooked up. It's all wired. He's now got to go and get some bracketry made. I'm not doing this, but he's going to get some bracketry made to hold that in place. And See you guys. And yeah, went to run through the tappets again this morning, make sure they're all good. A couple of snug ones, so that's a good sign. When they're loose you're worried because you think you might have knocked the cam around a little bit, but a couple of snug ones, so that was pretty good. And timing's all set, carby set up, everything's running, and the show off says. Bad noise comes out of that now. I know if I give this thing a rev, that alternator's going to make a racket, but there's that alternator raking a racket. So yeah, no, that's pretty snappy now. Get that sorted out. And then I'm onto the steering pump. And that's just going to be a real drama. Got his rack all sorted out. It actually had no bushes in the rack, but that's all good now. Steering's got no play in it. So he might still be able to have a bit of a turn of it around the block, make sure it changes gear and stuff. Before I get that bracket on, let's see what happens. Gentlemen, look what we got. We've got some lead organisers there. Here we're on. A little bracket for the alternator. You can see it there, it is. It'll plop around. Nice and firm now. Leads on that side. It's a good thing, just about done under there. What we've got is the steering pump. I'll just show you what I've got going on with that one. I'm not going to use the original pump. I can see it over there. Where is it? There we go. The original pump. Not using that. Going to use this one. Yeah, Hyundai. Hyundai. Anyway, if you have a look here, fits in pretty nice. Down there, lines up with the pulley. I can't get them both, but lines up with the pulley, lines up with the water pump bolt. Through there, up to the water pump bolt. I'll have to space the top one, make the bracket for that, a little brace underneath like I did with the alternator. And we'll find a belt for it. We may have to change the bottom hose because I think it's going to get in the way, but man, yeah. I'll just give you a bit of a squiz of what's going on with the bonnet. Okay, he's going to take it round to his son's. That's where I destroyed the paint by pulling the tape off. I'll say I did it. I did actually, so we're going to clean all that up nice. We'll trim that down here. We've got some of this stuff which is going to go around the border. You can see it there, it's just held on by double-sided tape. That stuff's going to go around the back, around the sides, up there, down there, down there. And we're going to leave that as it is because I like the reflection that comes off that. So that's what's going to happen with that. Very shortly that that'll be going back on the car. So, can you hear that, boys? Look what we're in. We've got the bonnet on. We're going to go for a quick little gallop. Paulie's going to hold the camera. And we're just going to see what happens.
Wait a minute. No, just have it on the screen.
Yeah, it's in the third already. okay?
Plenty of full end, isn't it?
Yeah. That feels pretty good. Kicks back alright. You got your phone with you in case we run out of fuel?
Yep.
Good. Do you want to put some up here? You want to put some fuel in up here?
Fucking bring his money with me.
Have you?
No, it's all alone. I'll take a punt. I got a tow truck around the corner, so.
It's not too noisy inside.
Nah, it's nice. Yeah, it's quiet inside. Hear that noise?
Probably a bit of exhaust noise on the thing or something.
Yeah.
It's not very harsh though.
No, it's not. No, it's not horrible.
Bit too wet to do the tyre test, mate.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, we'll wait for it to dry and we'll smoke them up.
Wait till it's dry. Leave the old Nissan will bloody smoke them up in the wet.
No problems.
That's not bad for second gear, just turning. That was just a tad of throttle.
Yes.
That's good.
Well, I did like a little bit.
That sounds nice out the back there.
That's good, mate. Got a couple of waves today.
Hey?
I took it up. Came in this morning, pretty good. About 8:30 or something. I had to go give the drill and stuff.
Yep.
There's cats walking up London Road. He's fucking clapping and waving. The little t-shirt on, mate. Should be a Ford or a Commodore or a Jag or something.
Yeah. Yeah. You'll have to go home. You'll have to go home. What's that?
Yeah, I'm going to send that to paint this week.
Yep.
Edge it up and do what we said.
Yeah.
And edge around it.
Glistens in the sun.
Yeah,
That's a good thing.
Yeah, no. Oh, she goes.
Yeah. That's really good. That's a good good result.
Yeah.
Be good to see what happens when we get it down the strip, mate.
Yeah.
I reckon it's got to be a 12 in it.
You reckon?
Yeah.
I said to Kevin probably a 13.
I reckon we get it. I reckon there's a 12 in it.
13 what? 12,
Your car will probably do about 19.
I told him, well, I was generous. I said 17.
Hey fellas, I just come round to my buddy's place. I'm going to show you his other toy he's got. This one's got a little bit more horsepower than his other car. It requires a little bit more tyre. Give you an idea how big this tyre is. Oh, it's pretty large, isn't it? Sure is. That's a big tyre. Yeah, she's a big tyre, alright. Got any clues yet? Yeah, you probably do. Yeah. Sprinter. That's another one I put the engine together for. He's had a dynoed and stuff like that. There's the wing off him. He's had a dynoed and I'll just get him, I can't remember how many horsepower he said it's got, but I'll give you a look at what pushes this one along.
So something was, but then you've since rebuilt it. I don't know if we've got any more out of that new crank or not.
686 off the dyno.
606 on right, yeah.
This is old school, this one. but certainly goes alright, doesn't it, Paulie?
Good. Yeah, it doesn't muck around.
No.
Around 13.
We got some tricky valve covers going to come for this, all matching up. But it had a bit of an incident and busted a crankshaft, and consequently we pulled it down, got the crank all sorted out, and hasn't had really much of a run since, but
We've actually had three runs at country. We've done a grand or a double.
okay.
And I've done five heat races in Parramatta and just finished every one of them. It was absolutely screaming.
There we go, look at that. Absolutely screaming. Can't ask for more. Aluminium heads, that's a 010 iron block 383. As you can see, these run a fuel pump down the front of you. And the special camshafts on these things which run the fuel pump. I don't know if you can see, there's a fuel pump down there. That runs off the back of the camshaft. Through here, there's the tail shaft, there's not much of that. And pretty sparse inside a sprint car. It doesn't have the creature comforts of the Jaguar. It's got bigger air conditioning though, as you can see. So quick change rear end.
This one does have power steering.
This one's got power steering too. The other one is a bit different at the minute, but good. Big discs, Willwood calipers. And it's a favourite with the neighbours when it gets fired up on the street. Unregistered, uninsured, riding it on the road in Penrith. There you go. Just starting it up before a race meeting. Anyway. So there's another bit of horsepower. That might end up in the Jag before long, we just don't know yet.
Yeah, one good wreck, mate, that's where it's going.
Okay. One good wreck and that's going in the Jag. That'll look nice sticking out the bonnet, I reckon. 8 trumpets off the old Hillborn. She's a goodie. Oh, there you go, fellas. I'll check you later.